This is a 2020 Ram 2500 Cummins diesel. Replacing camshaft and lifters. We're putting the old style flat lifters and no longer a roller lifter in cam. Got a bunch of magnets holding up the new lifters in there right now. Because on these, it's a Hamilton solid Tappet conversion, and they're much bigger than the previous generation of Dodge 99 to 2018. So you can't use a 1/2-inch wood dowel to hold them up. You have to use a magnet to hold them up. So we got those, and we just got our PVC pipe in there to make sure they don't fall out while we reseal this timing cover. It is possible to do it without lifting the cab. It takes a few hours to pull the front end of the truck apart. You don't have to discharge the air conditioning or pull the transmission cooler. The only cooler I disconnected was the radiator and the power steering cooler. You can see all the front end parts back here that we had to remove. Had to pull off the bumper, the grill, everything like that. If you're careful about it, it comes apart quite easily. Here's the Hamilton cam that we're putting in there. We have to press the new gear in there still. You can see these are much steeper as opposed to a roller cam. And then we have a Banks Monster Ram intake to put on there at the same time. There's the pitch on the roller cam, and you can see some of these. There's one lifter that was ticking very bad, but on some of these lobes you can see that the lifters are starting to jump pretty good, and they had a lot of side to side play in the bore or twisting because of those little dowels were wore out and they're twisting in the bore. So that Hamilton kit comes with new rockers, push rods, cam and lifters, and then we upgraded to the forged bridges for the valves that go across there because that's a common failure point as well. That's about it. It was a lot of fun to get those lifters in there because they're a little bigger. So what I ended up doing was I took some string and I found a couple little magnets, and those were strong enough to go in there. I'd fish this rope through, put a little steel ring on the end, fish this through with a magnet, and then pull the lifters through, and it was a little bit of fun to get them in there. They're a big lifter. And I just made this cheap trough. It's not very good, but it worked to do this. And it was enough to get all the lifters situated in there. And they're all held up and out of the way now. We're just gonna finish sealing up the timing cover because that was starting to leak a little bit. Not even 100,000 kilometers and it's starting to leak, so figured we should do that while we're in there, and then this truck should theoretically be good for a long time. There's no more emission control on here, so that's another huge failure point. And you can see how the intake horn was starting to get very carboned up, and inside the intake is getting very carboned up from the EGR. And so we're gonna replace this with the Banks Monster Ram system so that we don't have the possibility of this positive lug breaking off inside the intake and wrecking a good engine. So it is possible to do these without pulling the engine out of the truck if you want to do a solid lifter conversion or a flat tappet conversion. Because I haven't found any information on these, but it is possible, and I'll show some more videos once the cam's in there and then of it running and adjusting the valves and everything like that.